Hey, what's up everybody, 094 here with another action figure review. And carrying on with the Iron Man marathon seems like I'm having here. Here's another Iron Man review. This time's on the Revoltech Iron Man 2 line. This is actually the reissue of Mark 5. So they kind of repackaged it and made it. They called it the Legacy of Revoltech 2006 to 2014. Pretty cool box actually. I actually like it better than the other ones because the other ones were pretty big. This one's a little bit more smaller. So you can see the Japanese writing there on the side here. You can see Legacy of Revoltech on the side as well. Pretty cool box, and a cool way to reissue the box, and so you can tell the huge difference between the original and the reissue. So there is the back, and here's the front. Let's crack this guy open. Alright, and he is cracked out of the package, and there you have it, Mark 5 from Revoltech. This is, of course, the reissue. Should be the exact same figure as before. Of course, I did not have the one from before, because actually this figure was actually really pricey. Once it sold out, I mean, the Mark 5 went up to $80 around that price range, even sometimes $100. So it was really sought after. This is a very nice Mark 5, and I think the main reason is because there's not many Mark 5 6-inch figures out there. I think the only other people that made Mark 5 was Hasbro from Marvel Legends, and that one had a lot of paint issues, as most of you may know. So I think that's one of the main reasons that this figure went up so high, because he's pretty much the best Mark 5 out there at this scale, and I can tell you that already just based off the paint apps and the sculpt. They did a very awesome job on him. The look of him looks awesome. I mean, it looks perfect. That looks just like the Mark 5 from the movie. And I see no red paint fading. That was the main reason with the Hasbro one. The paint was almost turned pink at sometimes. The paint was really horrible on that one. Anyway, so going on to the figure, first and foremost, I like to say that he's really hard to stand. He's not standing straight up right now. He's kind of like with his legs bent. So that may be an issue for most of you guys. I know I hate when figures can't stand, but he is standing right there. You just gotta kind of finagle with him and see which position you can get him in. But luckily, Revoltech has provided us with a Revoltech stand that comes with most of their figures. I think almost all their figures come with Revoltech stands, which is awesome. Also, this is traditional for Revoltech. Iron Man Mark 5, Iron Man 2, 2010. They like to mark. They always have a little sign for Iron Man, so that's always cool to have if you have a Hall of Armor, which is awesome. Now going on to the accessories of the figure, let's go right off the bat. As you just saw the little sign and the stand. We have the suitcase, of course, with Mark 5 without the suitcase, which is always cool. I like it when it comes with the suitcase. The Hasbro Marvel Legends one came with it as well. And most people are like, oh, why does he have the suitcase if he's in the suit already? What? Come on, guys, it's an extra accessory. Why are you complaining? So this is good to have if you have a Tony Stark figure that custom built, of course, because we haven't had a really official release of Tony Stark. But here's a nice suitcase, and I will compare this with the Hasbro one shortly. Going on to the other accessories, all he has is a total of 3 pairs of hands, including the 2 fists on the figure. We have these flying hands right here, and then we have the blasting hands. Unfortunately, this figure does not come with any blast effects. It hasn't been a trend for Revoltech at all. They never really provided any effects with the figures. I know the early releases of these figures came with light-up features, and they kind of took that out as the line progressed. So unfortunately, we lost that too on Mark 5. But looking at the figure, let's get a close look. Alrighty, so here's a good look at the Mark 5 Iron Man figure by Revoltech. Looks nice. I like the metallic red they used on here, and silver came out great. I do see a couple paint app issues with this guy, and it is on the back. We got some silver bleeding onto the red. Alright, there got some paint splotches. But that's about it. It's the only thing I could find, which isn't an entire huge deal, because since it's on the back of the figure, so it's not really, major for me. Everything else looks great. I like how the red came out. Everything's pretty consistent throughout, besides that on the back. So going on to the articulation of the figure, we all know Revoltech's a little bit funky when it comes to articulation. They have the Revoltech joints, and they have a lot of joints that a lot of other people don't ever do. And I'll show you that in a second. So we got the left and right on the head. down and up. We got a nice little bit of a neck articulation there, as you see. There is a Revoltech joint on that bottom neck. Revoltech, you can pretty much take a Revoltech figure apart completely because it's just held on by those Revoltech joints as you saw the neck came off. So it does have a neck articulation as you just saw. You can see the sculpted lines on the face mask as well. Here we have a wacky little joint on the flaps or on the shoulder pads. This is another example of one of those weird joints that they have. But that's good so it doesn't hinder any of the articulation. And there's the snapping, clicking Revoltech joints that is common in all their figures. So you got in and out, forward and back, and a good double jointed elbow. It looks a little funky when it bends though, almost like there should be something there. Swivel at the wrist with the hinge right there. And I do remember their figures clicking in every single joint, so I guess they kind of minimized that clicking right there. So we got some clicking at the knee and at the abdominal, but the elbows do not have any clicking. So going to the abdominal area in the chest, we have the diaphragm joint slash hinge Revoltech joint inside there, as you can hear. Then we got another joint at the bottom down there. So we have two Revoltech joints, and then we have probably another one at the waist. I don't see one, but it does swivel at the upper torso. Leg goes forward and back, no clicking noises. It does click when you go in and out. We have a weird Revoltech joint right here for the flaps here, so it does not hinder any of that, which is also cool. Revoltech joint, double jointed at the knee. Awesome. I love the sculpt and paint work on there. Looks very nice. And then we go forward and back on the ankle, left and right, and we do have an ankle pivot, rocker slash whatever, and to articulation. No clicking noise there. Not that it's a huge deal, but a lot of people don't like that, honestly. So there is the articulation for Mark V. Not too bad. Very nice. I do like the details on this figure. I love the little details out here on the back of the leg. You can see right there, going on there into the back. You can see those screws and everything like that. The paint work is really, really nice. I really dig how this one came out. Alrighty, and here's the moment where most of you guys have been waiting for, and this pretty much explains why this Revoltech Mark V was very, very sought after in the first run. You can see the major difference here in between the two. Of course, the left one is the Revoltech and the right one is Hasbro's Marvel Legends. And you can see how much more movie accurate the Revoltech one looks. I mean, that looks like it's straight off a poster from a movie. It looks great. The one on the right, even the face sculpt just looks kind of alien. It just doesn't look like Iron Man. I don't know, I really just realized that now that I have them both side by side. And you can see how much darker the red and more accurate to the movie it is on the Revoltech. And the red is very light and bright on the Hasbro Marvel Legend one. And excuse me if there's still if you see some dust on the figures. It's been on the shelf for quite a while. Even the silver, we got some pink running onto the silver. Looking at the front of the figures, you can see the difference there. It's just how, I don't know how this whole anatomy part just looks weird. Look how long and skinny the stomach looks on the Hasbro one. It just looks very wacky and funky. And there's a lot of paint issues, and there's a big, you see the bulge on the top of the head of that. It just looks very wacky. Just came out really bad for Hasbro. And that's one of the main reasons why this was a very high, this was really, really highly stocked up in the stores. That was a peg warmer for sure. So this Revoltech Iron Man one just blows it right out the water. Alright guys, and here we have the comparison between the Suitcases. Of course, you can tell by the color itself, the red. The darker red is the Revoltech one, and the bright red is the Marvel Legends one. Here we can compare the sculpt slash the paint work on here. We do have some more sculpt work going on the Marvel Legend version of it. Right here, some line work there, and on the sides. This one does have that one on the side as well. You can see the paint's a lot better on the Revoltech one right here. Looks the same, except the silver looks a lot better, and the sculpt looks a lot better. Marvel Legends just has a little bit more sculpt right there. You can see the silver on the sides right here, a lot better on Revoltech. We're going to look at the sides of the Suitcase. Look at the huge difference there. I like the black shading in Revoltech's. And there's the back exact same. And the bottom, a lot more detail on Revoltech compared to Marvel Legends. They just went with a straight red across. And there's the top. So you guys decide. You can see this one's a little bit more bulkier than Marvel Legends one, so I really do enjoy the Revoltech one 100 times better than Marvel Legends. Just the red color just makes it a lot better on the Revoltech one. And there's a paint splash on the Marvel Legends. A lot of issues with Marvel Legends. You can see the silver one bleeding onto the red. This is very sloppy work by Hasbro's. Alright, and there you have it, guys. There's the review of the Revoltech Iron Man Mark V action figure by Revoltech, of course. Probably the best 6-inch scale Mark V figure so far out there. Of course, as you guys never made one. Figma didn't either. So Hasbro and I believe Revoltech is the only ones that have this scaled made so far. Very nicely done by Revoltech. I really like how this figure came out. Came out very, very nice. So I do recommend this one, of course. 100%, 100 million times over the Hasbro Marvel Legends one. That one's just garbage compared to this one. The articulations, I mean, as you can see, very awesome. And the paint work is very good compared to Marvel Legends, except for those paint splotches in the back, but that's about it. But there you have it, guys. Here is the review of Mark V. Hope you guys enjoyed. Go out and get him. He has been reissued, so he should be available for a nicer price now. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe if you guys would like. You guys have a great day. Bye.
That's crispy.